Hi, it's Joy. Today I'm going to be watching How to Get Away with Murder, Season 6, Episode 1, Say Goodbye. It's here, the final season of this brilliant, wonderful, fantastic show is here and I am so ready for it. I'm really excited. I'm also very scared because whenever a show knows it's its final season, especially a show like this one that has not been afraid to drop bodies, I am very frightened for my favourite characters, and yeah, going into this season, I'm honestly a bit like, just Connor and Oliver, let them be okay. Connor is my favourite, I need Connor to be okay, but I really want everyone to be okay, and to be honest, if in a show called How to Get Away with Murder, they didn't all get away with murder, then I feel like we've been lied to for 6 seasons, but this show could literally do anything. It could end with them all dead, it could end with them all in jail, it could end with a mixture of 50-50, it could end with them all getting away with it scot-free and being happy, and I am so ready for this show, so yeah. Let's go. It's gonna kill me, isn't it?
Kayla might die when she finds this out.
What? Oh yeah.
Louisiana Family Services impounded.
I remembered everything, but I'd forgotten that.
Annalise knew.
Was she kidnapped? Did she run away?
Peace and comfort during
Is this a flash-forward funeral?
And certain hope of the resurrection to eternal life through our Lord Jesus Christ.
Laurel's not there, and Annalise isn't there.
Body to the grasses.
None of them look too sad.
To him be
free now.
Passing,
Nate's there. They all look okay.
Christopher.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Stay dead, bitch.
It's a dream.
Stop!
It's a dream. Oh my goodness.
Karen, you okay?
Oh, is she in rehab under a different name?
But we don't compare, Sally.
God, Sally. That really freaked me out.
I got a smile. Go me.
Go you.
This is my secret, you tell me yours.
Why should she? God, Sally.
I'm a gangster who shoots people who don't know when to shut up.
I love Annalise so much.
We need to go to the FBI. Absolutely not. A child is missing.
Go to Xavier, torture him till he tells us where they are.
Who are
That
you?
was very
Frank would
dark.
do the torture, not me.
It's very true.
Why? Because you both. Boss's fault would it be? Get away from him. Fine. I prefer kicking your ass anyway. Hey!
Stop!
God, Frank.
This is hard.
Connor, obviously, nothing wrong, ever. But they didn't do anything wrong with the baby thing because they were watching him on the monitor. That's what everyone does.
He's dead, Annalise. Damn it.
Yep.
He's dead.
He actually turned out to be a really good guy. I feel terrible.
I heard you took Crawford's place as the new managing partner, right?
Do you make her a suspect? Or is that like a warning, like, shut up or else we'll come for you? This wouldn't work for me. Some of it would, but like that wouldn't.
Picturing myself dead.
Okay, Sally, let's give somebody else a chance to initiate.
God, Sally.
They were
Relieved.
upset. Not that I...
Considering what we could say.
Well, get ready for me to call you some names. Attention whore.
This whole group gets murdered next.
Chauvinist,
Or murder
I
someone.
never called you anything.
Quiet down.
God, Sally.
mean, narcissist.
I couldn't do this in a
Keep
group.
going.
Monster. Mammy.
I really hope Annalise manages to heal from all of this. I don't know how she can in the midst of everything.
Failure.
But at the end of the season... They clearly don't love her though, because you've just met each other recently. Oh, Michaela, I'm sure Laurel's going to be fine. I mean, I'm not sure Laurel's going to be fine, but I am sure. Christopher's 100% going to be fine. This show would not touch a baby.
Anymore. She picked me. Here we go.
Look, oh, Connor, so insecure and disconcerted. And I
Yeah,
actually would
maybe
really
she
want to know.
known your dad before he was gay, or your mom.
No, that was me.
Sweeto. Time to...
Gabriel just texted me that he's outside.
You want me to handle him?
Surely Frank could have seen him.
Away.
Laura wants to talk to you. In the house. Where she is.
Really convincing, Asher. 10 out of 10.
What are your intentions? What? What? Your intentions. Because if you're trying to... Because I'd rather have you as my bro than my foe.
Asher.
Not a pushover. You tell him, Stan.
This would run a fun day on set.
I'm here, and the people who need my help are at home.
I mean, yeah, you're not with them, but right now being in rehab isn't selfish. There are some times where you have to put yourself first.
That just kind of sounds the opposite of selfish to me.
I want to leave them.
God, this is really real.
Get better.
Okay. I want that
I want
for
you to get better. 3.
But I'm worried you won't.
Me too. Annalise has ultimately always tried to do the right thing for the people around her. Surely suspicious deaths would have to be done here. Or has Tegan had it, if it really is Tegan, had it sent to London because they can't interfere with it in London? Like the governor doesn't have a reach in London.
They should know I'm coming for him.
So you can end up like Emmett.
Nate, be careful. No, it's a warning.
So get the hell out.
In the world is Laurel Castillo. Don't make jokes.
Great song.
This is a joke. Try harder than you did protecting Christopher.
Are you
For
gonna do
God's
this to us for
sake.
the rest of our lives?
She didn't want you looking after him.
Oliver.
True. But also, it was on a
does
monitor,
that mean?
which was being looped. They couldn't tell that.
Laurel asked us to be Christopher's guardian.
Oh, Frank. She did use you a lot. Not past tense, Laura's fine. She does tend to use you. God, having to have a roommate as well. Probably a good way to, like, police everything, but...
Supposed to turn that in?
Arrest me.
Well, Annalise. Oh dear. That was kind of inevitable. I need Annalise to be okay.
On the bed.
God, Sally. She just really wanted a friend at rehab.
What if they're dead?
They're not dead.
I found the security company that Xavier uses. If we get the name of one of the security guards, then maybe Frank can torture the guy into telling us where they took Laurel.
Oh, how are you not more scared right now?
God, I am so done with being scared.
Why?
It's exhausting and weak.
It's not weak, it's human.
You know, if you're scared, I can protect you.
Oh,
You want me to protect you?
oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Good.
It's one way to get your mind off all the terrible things that are happening. These two need to be safe and happy forever, okay? These two can live happily ever after. That's all I ask, show, please. Ideally everyone else too, but just give me Connor and Oliver living happily ever after, please.
At least I can find them.
Tell her, because she's gonna figure it out anyway.
He's perf.
It's just gonna end bad when he finds.
Just listening to those two lovebirds up there. You know, there's still hope for us. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, Frank.
It's me. No way wrong.
Favourite little giraffe.
She would have taken this.
It's actually very good evidence. I mean, I don't actually think Laura ran away, but that was a theory. But if she didn't take the most prized toy of her baby, she could be sleeping quietly, you don't know.
Ask me another question, I dare you.
I've seen you with a bat. It's
That's because I'm trying to avoid your ass.
like I'm a very hard woman to love.
Thanks, Sally. God, Sally.
Yours is so basic. That's why you checked in here.
Your life is without them.
I hate my kids. I hate them. And I hate being a mother. I hate it.
This was a breakthrough for Sally.
Myself.
They're not even my kids. They're just people who need me. My name is Annalise Keating.
She's opening up. I'm scared.
But I help cover it up.
Oh my goodness. We don't tell random rehab Sally these things, Annalise. I love you, but we should not be telling random rehab Sally these things. Did she call the police?
Stan went aggro at breakfast. He beat up a cook because they ran
Oh
out of
my
bacon.
goodness. Freaking Annalise out. I mean, I don't think Sally needed to know these information. She could know the stuff about the rest of it.
Morning. I see you,
And I love you.
and I love you.
I take back all the negative stuff I said about Sally, I think. So I'm not fully trusting. She's gonna whack her pillow.
You're no failure.
Cold, you're not a bitch. You're not ugly. You're not disgusting. You're not a slut. You're not dirty. You're not spoiled. You're not a monster. You deserve to be loved and judged and felt. You
Please
deserve
believe
to
this,
be
Annalise.
free. I want out. I want out. Forgive yourself, Annalise. Because I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you.
Oh gosh. This show is just so much, always.
I said it. And you said it. And we have both now
It has been said.
said it.
However, you to promise that you'll never ghost me or lie to me or break up with me without an actual...
I'm here for you. Long term.
I actually would be quite happy if they were a long-term thing. But this is just too happy at the beginning of the season, guys. And the FBI still have Operation Bonfire and all that information. And of course his mum could turn up at some point, knowing that he's been with Annalise. Oh, she's, I don't think, worth investigating. Is he going to London? Or is Annalise coming home?
What kind of rehab works in 1 week?
I think she did have a breakthrough, hopefully it lasts. Oh god, what's on the phone? Is it just Annalise being back? Okay. That really stressed me out. Do we trust him? Oh god, is it his mum? Or is this doom and gloom? Okay. Oh, she'd been following Annalise or something. Oh, following him. Oh dear. Someone else come to cause trouble. You're gonna whack a pillow.
We could have beat out all of the guilt.
She's trying to help them too, that's lovely.
And the lies and the fear.
I might try this.
Consider this her funeral.
No.
Oh my goodness. Try to want the people that actually lived there to be there.
You just have to let it out. Okay. Go.
This is really powerful.
No more being the black sheep. No more being the nice guy. No more reject. No more loser. No more douche face. You're a good man out here. You hear me? You're a good man. You're a good man.
Is he gonna find dirt on her? I think she's trustworthy though. I'll be crossed if she isn't. Oh gosh. I mean, yeah, she worked with him. Didn't she? Maybe she's not been trustworthy this entire time.
Boy, bye.
Maybe she's not as trustworthy as we thought.
What wasn't?
Sam, Wes, Christopher.
He does blame himself for everything. Oh, Connor. It wasn't your fault.
This wasn't my fault.
Oh, Connor. It wasn't.
It's my fault.
I love you.
I'm not a killer, not a monster, not the devil.
No.
He's good in me. He's good in me.
Yes.
He wants damn good.
It's so true, Connor. I love you. She got a gun in that box. Americans love having guns. Oh. Who's working with her? Or is it the FBI agent?
Boy,
Yeah, Oliver.
who's strong, confident, and powerful. I'm a strong, confident, powerful.
Yes, Oliver. Yes, you are. I think the police might wonder why no one that actually lives in this house is here.
Stop wasting your love on her. Love yourself.
If she has been kidnapped, that's quite brutal. But also love yourself. You can love other people too. But you know, yes, Michaela.
Laurel's gone, I choose me. Happy?
You called your...
I got here on my own.
I'm alone, but I'm brave. I'm strong. I'm proud. I want to be happy. I just...
You will be. You do. I want everyone to be.
I choose me. So goodbye, Laurel. You're dead to me. You're dead to me. You're dead to me. You're dead to me.
Oh gosh, if Laurel is in like danger right now, I feel very bad. But Michaela needed that.
If you told Michaela the truth,
I should stop.
What?
Right now.
Annalise knew your birth father.
Right now.
Even though the journey in this life has ended, we will keep our hearts with our...
Of course someone else has been murdered with the bloody poker.
Celebration of eternal life. May the Lord bless her and keep
Her?
The Lord shine
I guess not
upon
Connor.
her and be great. Our dearly departed Annalise, and give
No.
her peace. Amen.
This is not happening. This is not happening. I refuse to accept that that is happening because no. No, no, no. Okay, so I'm not going to cry or freak out because Annalise is dead, because Annalise is not dead, because A, they never reveal who is dead in the flash forward. And normally the flash forward happens in like episode 8 or 9, right? It all happens. So as far as I'm concerned, they're going to fake Annalise's death for some reason. So either like she's just genuinely going to escape and just, you know, Annalise is dead, but Karen is off living her best life. Or they're gonna temporarily fake her death in order to try and do something or other. I refuse to believe Annalise someone is dead because we saw the poker and the blood. I mean, yeah, I think I'm probably reading too much into this, but Annalise cannot die because, oh my goodness, I can't lie, the minute whoever it was doing the person giving the funeral was like, I was like, Connor's fine. I mean, maybe Connor could be in prison, Connor could also be dead for all I know, touch wood. Touching my desk, it's wood. Nothing bad is going to happen to Connor. But yeah, that episode was intense. Like, all the stuff with rehab, with like, when it actually worked, like with Annalise, like what she feels about herself and all the things about putting other people first, but feel like, because Annalise has always put other people first. Of course there have been little moments where she hasn't, or there have been a lot of times when it has seemed to other people as though she was not putting them first. She always does. And she goes about it in weird ways sometimes, but she's always cared about them and looked out for them and done what she can to protect them, and sometimes it's backfired, sometimes it's helped. And so in that being said, she always has felt selfish, and that's such a human thing, I think. Like, I think a lot of us can relate to that, obviously not to the degrees that Annalise goes to and the level of her life, but I found that really like powerful to watch, and then her accepting that, and like her finally being able to hit that pillow and saying, you know, I'm a good person, like I deserve to be happy, and I'm not all those awful things, and I can put myself first sometimes and it's okay. Like, that was a lot. And then her getting all of them to do it because she knew they needed it, that was really powerful. And, you know, Asher, you know, being able to say that I am a good person. I mean, he's only committed one murder, but he is a good person, don't get me wrong. And, you know, he's grown, I think, to murder aside, since season 1, he has grown as a character a lot. Like, at the beginning of season 1, he was very much a character that you just rolled your eyes at constantly, but he's a very good person. And then Connor, my Connor, you know, he has had a lot of guilt and blame on himself, but there is so much good in him and he deserves to be happy, and I'm very emotional. And then Oliver, he is strong, and he's much stronger than he thinks he is. And that made me really emotional. And Michaela, you know, she got herself through on her own, and she's on her own, but she's brave, and she can choose herself, and she can choose to be happy. And I think that leads to she can choose to have people, you know. Now the one thing which I get, like, Annalise being like, oh, you know, Laurel, make sure Laurel's dead to you, is that we don't know that Laurel has willingly left. She could be, you know, locked in a basement somewhere. Now, admittedly, they've called the police, so if that is the case, there are people looking for her. But, you know, and there is every chance with Laurel being Laurel that she has just run off. She has a baby to think of as well, so I mean, as much as I said with Laurel being Laurel, like, having a baby, but then she left the baby's favourite toy, which was an established favourite toy, so I don't feel like she did just run off. And I think, yeah, Frank, oh, kind of like that. So, yeah, I think, like, it's quite brutal if Laurel was in trouble to be like, oh, I hate you, Laurel, you're dead to me, or whatever it was. But at the same time, I think Michaela needed that to be able to keep going and to be able to keep fighting. And that doesn't mean that if Laurel is in danger and needs help, they're not going to be there for her. And that doesn't mean that if she comes back, that they can't also find a way to be there for her. But yeah, we got no information on Laurel this episode whatsoever. Also this episode, I thought Frank's constant being like digs at Oliver and Connor, but like the baby was on a baby monitor, and you know, that's how you look after a baby. Once the baby is sleeping, you have a baby monitor. Tell me you don't sit in the room and stare at it. You know, if you've been told, oh, someone's going to try and kidnap the baby, you probably would sit in the room and stare at it. But when you just think, oh, this baby is having a nap, there's no reason for you to go to bed for the night. You just have it on the monitor. And, you know, like when Frank burst into the house, like, where's Christopher? Where's Christopher? They were like, oh, he's fine, he's sleeping. And then they went upstairs and it had been looped. So I think Frank was just feeling, obviously, a lot of his stress and his anger over the whole situation, and his fear was coming out in trying to divert the anger at the one place that he felt like he could, even though they hadn't actually done anything wrong. And yeah, finding out that Laurel didn't ask him to be the guardian, you know, he loves Christopher like he's his dad, like he always has, and she really did. I mean, there's a lot of complications to Laurel, but she really did use Frank a lot, especially at the beginning when Christopher was newborn. And he really has played a huge part in raising that kid. But then at the same time, could he have expected her to want him to be the guardian? Whereas Oliver and Connor are married, they love each other. And so, you know, that's a home where your son would grow up seeing two people in love, seeing two people with a real genuine affection and care for each other. And, you know, a good, honest love that is the sort of love I want my kids to hope. I hope that one day that's what they see with me and my imaginary husband. So I think, like, yeah, that was quite brutal on Frank. Also this episode we had, I think Annalise, she basically kind of was saying that she, I hope, has turned a really good corner for herself. And I think, so she might die this season, but at least she's going to die in a really good place. I'm not getting too upset about that, just because I think with this show it's a bit early to be like definitively saying it's Annalise. Maybe it is, and it's a twist for this show, but we've had, you know, season 1 was, we knew it was Sam actually, but season 1 we did actually know who it was the whole time, so maybe that is going to happen. But yeah, season 2, did we always, we just found out bits and bobs. Well, Annalise was shot in season 2, but we knew she was going to be fine. Season 3, obviously, it was Who Was Under the Sheet. Season 4, Simon and everything. And season 5 was Who's Dead at the Wedding. But, like, I still think so basically I'm not going to accept that Annalise is actually dead until I see it happen. And yeah, I mean, this is one of those shows that I've kind of bolstered myself into being like prepared for anyone to die. The one exception to that is Connor, and by extension Oliver, because of what that would do to Connor. Just because he is my favourite character and I feel very bonded to him. Like, you know, you get those favourite characters that you just love, and there's something about them that you're just connected to, and that you just need them to be okay and happy, and that's how I feel about Connor. But I really want all of them to be happy, and I'm not okay with Annalise being dead, and I might rewrite the ending to have her faking her death, should that be required. But yeah, like, looking back, the episode opened with an Annalise funeral, and I was thinking, like, why aren't they sad? Like, even with this lot, with whatever the funeral, I didn't initially know for sure it was Annalise, but you know, even if it was Annalise, even if I felt like they'd be sad, but obviously it was her her vision of them all being relieved that she was dead, and it isn't the truth. I don't think of what a funeral would be like. And then we had again, you know, the whole thing about what do you want those people who are dead, and I felt like they kept kind of mentioning Annalise and death, and then at the end she's dead. So I'm not going to believe that just yet until I see proof. And you know, because we saw the poker flying, we saw blood splattering, and interestingly it's the same poker she got them all to whack the pillow, so all of their prints going to be on it. But who's dead? I mean, okay, it's probably Annalise, and I'm probably reaching here, but I think Annalise really deserves to find happiness at the end of all of this, so I'm not okay with it if she's dead. I probably missed bits of this episode. On Michaela and Gabriel, of course. We can trust Gabriel, I think, but we cannot trust his mother. I get why she would hate Annalise, like 100%. I understand that, you know, and I can see her being upset with Gabriel for going and getting to know Annalise and not telling her. Like, that is an extremely messed up thing to do on his part. And I know he was kind of investigating Annalise to begin with, but what she should have done is said, he's phoned him up and been like, oh, how's your California college, I can't think what uni is he's meant to be at. And then when he was like, oh, it's all great, knocked on the door, and then been like, what was that? And like, confront him and, you know, talk to your son. If they apparently have this wonderful relationship, if you find out he's been lying to you, talk to him about it, ask him why. Or just come and yell at him if you're really feeling angry about it. But this weird, like, skulking around investigating Annalise, like, there's enough going on, lady. Go home. Deal with your son. So yeah, I relate to her hating Annalise a lot, because of course you would, you know, she wrecked your marriage. Obviously Sam did too, but you can hate both of them. And, you know, I get that, but at the same time, why are you being a weird stalker person? Just talk to your son. Okay, so I just went downstairs, got a drink, and then I realised that I completely forgot in my review to mention Tegan, and how I have trusted Tegan. And like, I felt like last season we kind of came to the point where she was definitely trustworthy, and she seemed sad about him. But it was the moment at the end when she sat down and she was like, bye boy, or whatever, that was quite like, you know, I get that. I still think we can trust Tegan, and that I could see it as being just a little moment of like, she's always wanted this position and always been worthy of it, but has just been held back, and it's largely been by men, white men, and so kind of that moment of victory in that sense. But I mean, for all of her, like, he was my friend, to be like, bye boy, was quite a jump. So I'm worried that we can't trust Tegan as much as I thought we could. So yeah, that episode was really intense, and I'm very stressed, but I do love this show as always, and I'm in complete denial about that ending. I refuse to accept it. So yeah, that was fantastic. I can't wait for the rest of the season. I'm terrified for the rest of the season. Thank you for watching.